Coming to you from Orange County, California, this is the JuggLife podcast with Max Ada and Chad Wesley Smith. Hey everybody, Chad Wesley Smith here, bringing you another episode of the JuggLife podcast. I am joined, as always, by magnificent Maximum Montana. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you guys doing?
Good, good. The people of the internet are good. And our guest today, reigning best lifter from IPF Raw Worlds, two-time 57 kilo national champ, and at least the leader in the clubhouse for best lifter here at Nationals, Jen Millican. How you doing, Jen?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Good, very good. Excited to have you on. It's been cool to see you and Marissa kind of develop your friendship over the last year, because she and I both appreciate that you kind of don't give a fuck about some of the stuff. Like you don't go in for some of the drama of powerlifting, so we very much appreciate that. But for people who don't know you, who might not be familiar with you, I'll brag about you a little bit, and then you can introduce yourself a bit more and correct me if I'm wrong on any of the numbers, as I'm sure I will be a bit. But so you were world champ in Belarus a few months ago.
Yes.
Best lifter there, Wilkes 542.
Yes, 542.
542, huh?
542.7.
Okay, I can't remember the
know the
points.
points.
I was pretty close. I'm proud of that. You are the world record in the squat.
Yes.
174.
0.5.
174.5.
Yep.
You have benched 100.
Yes, 100.
All right, and that was a PR the other night.
No. I benched 100 at Worlds and here at Nats.
Okay, and you've pulled 195, 192.5.
193.
193. Is that also the world record? No.
It's the American record.
Okay.
It's American record.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, 193.
So I guess you're pretty good at lifting.
Kind of.
And then, what was your Wilkes the other night? 541.
540.
540.
Weight a little heavier.
A paltry 540. Yeah.
Wow.
Which I think are probably the third and fourth highest Wilkes of all time in the IPF for women.
I think I had the second and third.
Second and third.
Yeah.
All right.
I might be wrong.
I know Kim's right.
Kim's
Kim has
got
one
one
that's right in
somewhere,
there. Maybe second and fourth.
Yeah.
But yeah, someone can look that up for us. And so incredible lifting, and you. How long have you been competing in powerlifting?
About 40 years.
4 years, and the last 2 years in the USAPL.
Right.
So that brings me to one of my favorite points about you. So the gym you train at, you live in Nashville, Tennessee.
Right.
And whose gym do you train at?
Wade Johnson.
Wade Johnson. All right. I love Wade. I've very much enjoyed getting to know Wade. I think I first really met him at the Arnold last year. And I met him, and he acted like he knew me. And I'm like, well, a lot of people know me because I talk about lifting weights on the internet. But I was like, he looks familiar, but I don't know him. And then it clicked. I was like, Wade Johnson. Because I used to compete in the SPF. My two of my first three powerlifting meets, SPF Pro-Ams, in the glorious settings of days in ballrooms in Knoxville or the Greater Cincinnati Convention Center, and Wade was the head judge. Mm-hmm. For the head judge of the SPF and the IPF world champion to even cross paths is remarkable, let alone be so.
When Wade walks into the USAPL meet, does he start to smoke and sizzle and start to burn a little bit, or?
I think it definitely came across a little bit. He was unsure of how he was going to be received. Maybe is what I'm searching for. But you mentioned that I don't give a fuck about a lot of things, and Wade doesn't either. That's what's great about him. He doesn't care. He's fine.
Yeah. So Wade, you train at Wade's gym, and he's kind of your meet day, your coach, your handler.
Yes.
And who does your programming and everything?
Aaron Thomas writes my programming. We've been working together about 2 years. I guess maybe a little over 2 years. So he writes my training and my nutrition.
And then previous to powerlifting, did you play sports growing up or in college?
Yes, I played in high school. High school, I played softball. I got cut my sophomore year, so that kind of crushed all my hopes and dreams. And played basketball, but was never tall enough to go beyond, like make it to high school teams or school teams.
Yeah, we've had several short white girl powerlifters who are former basketball players.
Yeah, yeah.
A common theme there.
Yes.
So before we get into it a little bit more with Jen and get to know more about her and her training, we're going to take a quick break.
We're going to take a little break to get to know Chad Wesley Smith a little better, maybe as well as I know him.
Hopefully not that well. First, wearing boat shoes, it happened probably out of laziness, because once you get to be a man of, let's say, advanced size, tying your shoes is not the most comfortable thing. You kind of can't reach that well or get out of breath maybe. So boat shoes were easy because they were slip-ons. Plus, it kind of goes along with the country club nature of the name Chad Wesley Smith. And but as far as lifting in boat shoes, it totally started by accident. I used to deadlift wearing slippers, like ballet slippers. And I was at a meet at Super Training, probably 2013. Yeah, I think 2013. And I had my squat shoes, my Olympic weightlifting shoes, but I only had one of my slippers with me. So it was either my boat shoes that I'd worn, weightlifting shoes, and that was it. So I figured the boat shoes would be a way better option than the weightlifting shoes. So pulled a PR deadlift wearing them and just kind of stuck with it since then.
Welcome back to the JuggLife podcast. I hope you guys got something out of Chad's amazing biography.
We probably just lost right here. So you competed two nights ago. Another, incredible performance. What was your impression and reflections on your own lifting here at Nationals?
It went about as I expected it to go. The training cycle's been kind of meh. I was having trouble finding the momentum in my training cycle. I feel like it was kind of a quick turnaround from Worlds. I'm not sure if I feel like I talked to a couple other people. I know Marissa had trouble just kind of getting back in the groove. For me, it was a quick turnaround, but I was able to come defend the title, squeak out one little kilo PR on my totals, so I'll take it.
I figure once you're at the point you are, which is at 462 and a half.
That's what I totaled at Worlds.
Okay.
And then here 463.
463. Just
wait. No, at Worlds it's 462. Here 463.
All right. I mean, when you're at that point, every kilo is a pretty big accomplishment. So you said Aaron Thomas writes both your training and diet. Give us kind of a overview of what a week of training might look like for you.
So on Mondays, bench is the main movement, and then I'll usually do just two different variations of bench. So like wide grip, close grip, or something like that, and then just upper body assistance. Tuesdays, squats the main movement, and then I'll usually do deadlifts after that, and then more assistance, usually compound movements, good mornings, rows, things like that. Thursdays is another upper body day. I'll either do bench as a main movement or overhead press. I usually always do both, and then again, just regular assistance. Fridays are deadlift is the main movement, and then usually squat also. And same thing, compound movements, good mornings, lunges. It's really basic.
And so you said you did softball and basketball in high school, and you've been competing in powerlifting for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You're 34?
Yes.
So from 18 to 30, were you just hanging out or doing CrossFit or doing 200 body weight squats and 100 push-ups every hour on the hour at your house, or what was the deal there?
I wasn't doing a whole lot of anything. I did, I got married, had some babies in there, and then after I had my son, my husband had gotten into CrossFit, and so while I was pregnant with my son, he would come home and he's telling me how great it is, and he's telling me about these women that are there, and they can't do pull-ups, and I'm like, I can do a pull-up for sure. And then he wins and gets his name circled, and I'm like, I want to win things and get my name circled. And so I decided after I had our son that I would, see what happens, go into CrossFit and see what happens. And so I started doing CrossFit, and I was probably doing that not very long, maybe 6 months, something like that. And I did like an unsanctioned push-pull, and I won. And then I said, now what do I do? And somebody handed me an entry form to a full power meet, and that was all she wrote.
Do you remember the numbers from the unsanctioned push-pull?
I do. It was, I want to say, I know I missed 135 because I wanted to plate really bad, and I missed it. And my deadlift was 300 pounds. Sumo.
Yeah.
You might be able to do something with that.
We did a podcast several months ago with the Iron Sisters, and Jennifer Thompson told us, she's like, I was really struggling with the bench press when I started to train. I didn't feel stable with the bar, and so I would just do dumbbells, and I was like, well, how'd your first meet go? And she said, I benched 242. She only squatted like 185, so
That's
appropriate. Yeah, well, that's pretty amazing for 4 years, from 135, missing 135, to now benching 225.
So you went in the gym to win, then you started winning, and winning just became a way of life. So between that first meet and kind of like your current iteration of training and whatnot, did you go through a bunch of different phases of like trying different programs or different coaches, or did you just kind of find the right combo right off the bat? Or
I think when I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. I wasn't necessarily following any specific programming. And then when I started, I was in North Carolina, and then about 3 years ago, I moved back home to Nashville, and looked up powerlifting gyms because I knew I wanted to keep powerlifting, and found Wade's place, and walked in there and just started training. And when I first started training there, Wade and I kind of butt heads a little bit.
and you want you to go multiply?
He does want me to get in gear. I'm not ever getting in multiply. But anyway, I ran. I wouldn't say that I ran Wade's programming because I was very stubborn and wanted to do what I wanted to do. And then actually read an RP book. And in the RP book, Aaron's picture is in there. And Wade's son, Wes, went to school with Aaron. And he was like, I know that guy. So Wes sent Aaron an email, and Wes told Aaron about me, and then Aaron emailed me, and I've been working with Aaron ever since. So.
And you have a exceptionally balanced total, which I think is what really makes you such a great powerlifter. Is all three lifts are excellent, but if one of them probably stood out more than the rest, and particularly for me watching you lift, I'm like, holy shit, this girl can squat. And maybe a little bit more insight specific to your squat training and what do you think's been really helpful for you in either developing your technique or your strength there. Sure.
So I think one of the biggest things for me is like you were saying, SPF and all of that. When I first started lifting, I was competing in knee wraps, and never even touched anything without knee wraps. And when I started training with Aaron, he would write in my numbers, and I would look at them and I would just be like, there is no way. I'm like, you are nuts. But I was like, I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to load the bar and do what I'm supposed to do, and I'll be damned if I didn't hit the numbers. And so it was, I think one of the biggest things that changed for me was Aaron. I work with him remotely, and just him not necessarily knowing me that well, or like being there for me to whine or tell them how I feel or get to be on autopilot. Like just him seeing the numbers on paper and then writing down what I should be hitting, and then me just going in and doing it was like that was a big breakthrough for me. Because like the first time he told me to squat without knee wraps, he's like, you put 325 on the bar, I promise you'll hit it. And I was terrified to load anything heavier than 275. I was like, there's no way. And I was like, but I'll do it. And so walked in the gym, put 325 on the bar without knee wraps, and I'll be damned if I didn't squat it like nothing. I was like, oh, okay, maybe he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, the way you squat too, at that very fast descent.
Yes.
Is that something you think you kind of developed from knee wraps, trying to really use the wraps?
No, I think I just squat that way, and I can't unsquat that way.
Yeah.
I've attempted in the past because people have told me they're like, if you slow it down and control it more, you'll be so much better. Because I was a little bit wild in the beginning of time. I've like dropped bars off my back and like fallen backwards because my descent is so fast, and I was squatting high bar. Which is another thing. I transitioned to low bar. Aaron was like, just try low bar and see what happens. And so that made a big difference for me too. But the descent is it's just there. I've tried to slow it down, but it doesn't usually work as well.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be one of those people that would tell you to slow it down. I think I just tell people to go down as fast as they can go, like as fast as their technique can tolerate.
Right.
You know, so if you're hitting your spots 9 times out of 10, you know, then as fast as you can go is probably the way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Your ascent from the hole, what's interesting is like you see some people like go down fast, and the turnaround is just like a car accident, and they come back up and their hips are back and they're just bent over. And watching you the other night with your descent is so fast, but it's the control you have in the bottom, and then literally all the force just goes right back to the bar and you stand back up. It's extremely impressive. I wasn't expecting it because I never actually saw you lift, and watching it, when I watched you come out and I saw you go down really quick, I was like kind of taken aback, like, oh, maybe the next one's not going to be so good. But then it was better, and then, you know, I quickly started feeling bad about who I was and my accomplishments. But it was really impressive seeing that. It's definitely a testament to the mental side of your abilities, because big weights like that, moving in that speed and doing all those things, but still having the sort of composure and commitment in the squat to just set yourself up and commit to doing it exactly the same as if it weighed nothing is impressive to me for sure. So are there any other kind of like squat, I mean, you said you did high bar squats for a long time. Do you still do them, or do you do any other kind of like squat variations that you feel have contributed a lot to your success in the squat?
Yes. So I still almost every training cycle, like right after a meet, I'll go back to high bar squatting, and I loathe it. And I wonder how I ever did it. Like, how did I do that? But I almost always start out with high bar. Usually front squats are thrown in there. Usually all quads in the beginning of the training cycle.
Interesting.
So like your legs make you squat a lot. It's a novel concept. Yeah, I've seen you hit some pretty big front squats too, like 275 for 5 kind of range.
I think I've done that. Yes. Yeah. I know I've hit 275 for a lot, and I know I almost died.
Right. So many she couldn't even remember.
That's I believe that's RP 9000. That's what they mean by that.
All right, so we're going to take another quick break and give you a look at Marissa's book, Fuerza, A Female's Guide to Strength and Physique. And it can teach you some things to help you be a jacked, strong, awesome lady like Jen. All right, so hopefully you got a little bit of insight to Marissa's book there, and something she talks about in that is balancing being a mother, and Marissa has 2 kids, as do you, and I know it's got to be definitely has its own unique challenges. So talk a little bit about that balance for you.
Sure. So I train really early in the morning. Just works better that for my life.
Well, how early are we talking here?
I try to arrive at the gym between 5 and 5:30 a.m.
People are alive at that time?
People are alive at that time, and that's when Wade trains. My gym is in Wade's basement, and so it's not like a regular gym where people are just coming in and out. We have the 5:30 a.m. session and a 5:30 p.m. session, and I go with 5:30 a.m. It just works out better for my life, so I can be at home with the kids in the evening doing all the mom things. But it works out better, and I want to do it, and so just find the way that works, and that's how we roll.
Do you ever see maybe like younger girls who are competing and just think like, you bitches don't know how easy you have it, kind of thing?
I do, and I think having children adds another layer of superpowers. Like, because after you have kids, you just don't care. Like, whatever. I'm hungry and I'm tired and I'm sore and I don't care. I'm just gonna keep going because you now have super parent powers.
It's like after you've had a baby shit on you, you can't. Nothing's really that bad that could happen at a powerlifting meet.
Babies don't care. Babies and children don't care about anything. They don't care how you feel. They don't care if your squat session went bad. They don't care, and neither should you. Just move on, get it done.
What's coming up next for you, competition-wise? Goals you have for maybe 2018 powerlifting?
I'm kind of in the process of figuring that out, but
I'm actually asking this mostly for my own strategic objectives.
I don't want to see a nutrition plan until January. I don't even want it to be sent to my email.
Well, before we go on, speaking of that, I remember Marissa telling me some things about your holiday eating and where your body weight started at to go towards the Arnold Grand Prix last year.
Yeah.
How much did you weigh last January?
Right here in front of God and everybody.
Yeah.
I think I may have hit 140.
140. What's that in kilos? 60.
I would have been in the 72 kilo weight class.
Yeah, 64 kilos.
Yeah.
64 and 57. That's a good bit away. So diet wise, what are some sort of the main tenets that you're really going for?
Aaron sends the programming. It's pretty basic. He sends macros. I eat 5 times a day. Balanced protein throughout. Carbs around the training window. That's about it.
When you're weighing that much, are you still training pretty hard or fairly hard?
Yes.
So how strong are you when you weigh 140 pounds?
I can get really strong. I think it's serves me well. And then until I have to start cutting, and then I feel really bad about myself and think that it was a horrible mistake. But
Balance, right?
yes, but it's fun while it's happening.
So deciding between weight classes, but you think the Arnold on the horizon again this year?
Yes, yeah, I think so. As long as all goes well. I was feeling just a tad burnt out. If I'm being very transparent. So I'm certainly looking forward to a full 20 weeks of time between meets. Take a little break, having some nagging issues, and hopefully those will go away, and then start back at it hard, and hopefully put up a huge total at the Arnold.
Do you have any big goal numbers out there?
I want to squat 400 pounds at a meet. I want to do it. I want to squat 400. So that's like 182.5 kilos. I want to deadlift 200 kilos, and any amount of kilos that want to go on my bench, I'm happy to have them.
Well, Jen, thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us. Where can people learn more about you?
I am on Instagram as Jen Millican. I have a blog, poweryourown.blogspot.com. That's where you can find me.
All right. And this episode of the JuggLife was brought to you by Fried Chicken and Front Squats. And if you enjoy the JuggLife, please go on iTunes, give us a 5-star review, leave us something nice, something funny, maybe both, and then you can email me if I read it on the air. And since I really have no way of verifying who these people are, because they can write whatever name they want in.
You're gonna read one that's just like praising me, then it'll be by notmaxada.com.
Really not Max Ada.
Really not Max
Definitely not Max Ada. Definitely not Max Ada. And in this one, Doug Young and Bob Wills, that's all is one word, says, love the podcast from CWS and Max. From the information provided to being funny and entertaining, it delivers it all. Well, we try. What makes it even better is they seem like they enjoy it. We do. There's been several times in the last 2 weeks of work. Like I'm sure as an avid JuggLife watcher and listener, you've seen our incredible Rocky Beach training montage. That day when Max and I went to the Halloween store to get our wigs, as it may come as a surprise to you, that wasn't our real hair. The lady asked, she's like, so you guys going to a costume party tonight? As Max is walking out with a Jerry curl wig, and I've got some, flowing Italian black hair locks to put on. And I just looked at her as straight face as I could, and I was like, no, this is for a work project. And she was very confused by it.
Yeah.
But we definitely do enjoy this job, and I'm glad that it comes through for all of you. And it says, always helps me get through my cardio and through long days of travel. Well, Doug Young and Bob Wills, which I feel like that's not his real name.
Yeah.
We're glad that you enjoy it, and go ahead and shoot me an email, chad@jtsstrength.com, and we'll send you out something nice, maybe
a wig.
Be nice, yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, game used, game worn, Apollo Creed wig. And beyond that, check out juggernautcoaching.com for all of our online coaching options for weightlifting, powerlifting, and super total. That's the unholy merger of powerlifting and weightlifting into one. And the snatch and squat, the bench and jerk.
Yeah.
I'm going to do those simultaneously. So check that out and subscribe to the YouTube. We're always proud of the content that we produce here, along with our man, strongest videographer in all the land, Shorty Lifts. Shorty Sedang. Thanks to him for his hard work. And what else? Oh yeah, events. We probably have seminars coming up. I don't know when this episode's going to come out, so I don't want to say which ones they are and where they may be. But email us, chad@jtsstrength.com, max@jtsstrength.com, or the events section at store.jtsstrength.com. It really just rolls off the tongue for me now.
I wish.
Yeah.
I'm not even close to that.
One day Max will learn the name of this company, and we're still...
Even with teleprompters, it doesn't come out right.
We're still hoping for that day. But yeah, check all that stuff out, and hopefully we'll see you at an event. Max, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram, max_Ada, or on Facebook, or like Chad said, email me, max@jtsstrength.com.
And I'm Chad Wesley Smith, at Chad Wesley Smith, and at Juggernaut Training on Facebook and Instagram, filling up your news feed all day. This is Millican. Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for watching the JuggLife, and we'll see you next week.